Some bunnies with a Badooka dunk.
Way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Mama, there goes that man.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Swish. We have Jay Money and Kev from Ohio. We run the three-man weave. We back. We had a little vacation / layoff. I got sick. We had family stuff, a whole bunch of stuff going on. Verizon decided they're out. They had a network outage, so we had all types of things happen. From our last time, but we back. We're gonna be more consistent. New year, new us. Still stuff. All right. So look, man. Again, as always, we brought to you by the Southern Edge Beverage Company. Like, subscribe, share. Don't be a hater your whole life, fellas. How we doing?
Oh,
I got the itis right now. I just had sushi. I got the itis. You got me for about 15 minutes. Not just
hey, not bad. You summed it up, man. I'm hearing Baltimore be more. It's like, man, it's cold here. All of a sudden, it's cold.
It's wild. It's like 35 here in South Carolina, and we don't know how to act right now. We scared for snow, and look, they don't know how to act when snow hits here. They don't know how to act. All right, so because we've been off for a while, we got to talk about Trae Young to the Wizards for pretty much cotton candy. They gave that man away. I mean, and that, it's bad enough that someone of Trae's caliber gets kind of like tossed to the side, because Trae is a good player. He's an all-star. He's an all NBA player, and they traded him for, a decent player, a spare parts. They didn't even get picks if I remember correctly.
No picks.
So it's like, what do we make of this? The trade was definitely about salary. It wasn't about getting better for either team, really. But what do we make about when teams just kind of do these moves? Like, is this really good for basketball?
You know what? I think it's 50-50. It could be good. It could just be, to your point, just a salary dump. But it's like Trae Young, I don't know. Like, what do we have? I remember when we would have the debates, who got the better of the trade, Dallas or Atlanta. And then it seemed like that margin gotten so wide where it's like, clearly Luka's a better player, but Trae Young, between injuries, between just really being on a bad team, you almost forgot about him. And then it's easy to nitpick things. Oh, well, he doesn't play defense. He's this, he's that. And I saw like a sound bite from Jason Williams, and he was like, they didn't care about Trae Young's defense when they signed him to the contract. They knew he wasn't playing defense, But I think now that he's on his way out, but prior to his way out, they would kind of like nitpick his game. So like now, I like the trade, and it could be something for the Wizards to build on. He is a good piece, but it's just one of them things where I'm not surprised they let him go because Trae maybe isn't that special.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Kev on that one too. I like the trade. I think it was a good one. I think the world sometimes forget how great CJ McCollum was, especially when he was with the Portland Trailblazers and with the Pelicans. Like, the dude was a beast, and his game is so smooth. I mean, I feel like he's been efficient for his entire career, honestly. And I was just looking up his stats. I mean, he's given them at least 18 a game. But his shooting from three is horrific. He's shooting 16% from three, and then 42% from the free throw line. So that's god awful. But he's given them consistent points, though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, CJ McCollum has been one of these pieces that's been used for trade bait. And it's crazy, like that's pretty much his role now in this part of his career.
Yeah.
Because when him and Dame were in Portland, they were a good backcourt. I mean, again, they weren't championship caliber, but they were always exciting. They were must see TV for sure. But now CJ, he just keeps going to bad team to bad team. Now, Atlanta is definitely a good team, better than the Pelicans and the Wizards. But he's just it just sucks to see that he's in this part of his career and he's not going to miss like a competitive April or anything like that. But the Hawks got rid of them, got rid of Trae Young. And the crazy thing is the Wizards don't even know when Trae Young was going to play. Like they say he's out at least until the All-Star break.
Yeah.
But there is word that he may not even play this season. They may just like, hey, just you know,
Chill. Yeah.
Wow.
chill for the rest. So yeah, so I think that's what I've seen with the weirdest part of this trade is that what are the Wizards doing? Like, I mean, they're already a bad team. At least give the fans somebody to watch. And granted, the Wizards team, even though their record doesn't say it, I mean they play basketball, but I mean, don't bring Trae in and like not play him. I don't think like I get if they're tanking, but that's just terrible for the fans.
Mhm.
I think I feel like from what I see, because he's got a sprained MCL and a right quad injury, so I get the timeline because we're in January now. All Star break is what, March,
No,
February,
also racing like 3 weeks.
in 3 weeks. That makes sense. I think the recovery time is just it's not outrageous, right? I think if we were in October and we're looking at ours, then I'd be concerned because then you're like, well, he might not play the rest of the season. Then I'd be like, what are you actually doing? Because the season's over in June. That's
Right.
around playoff time. So I think the recovery time, it makes sense to have him play after All-Star break. He's resting. He's not playing at the All-Star. I don't even think he got picked for All-Star this year, to be honest with you.
Probably not.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, chill out, sit down. You just got traded. You really didn't want to be in Atlanta anyway for the latter part of the season.
Mhm.
So yeah, I get it. It makes sense to me as to why they say post All Star maybe next season because they're not going to go that far this year anyway.
Sure.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
get that.
So now we have to move to Rich Paul, agent extraordinaire, doing what we're doing, podcasting, except he's an actual agent in real life. Like we play fantasy agents and fantasy GM, and we come up with these ideas for trades, but things hit different when you actually represent players. This man got on his podcast with Max Kellerman, big fan of Max,
Yeah.
and said that it's feasible that he would trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson. This man cannot set the market. This this got so out of hand. You have LeBron having a comment distancing himself from his statements because everyone thinks because of LeBron's past that this is LeBron putting these feelers out in the air and he's trying to play GM again. And so he has to actually normally if this is old LeBron, he wouldn't have even said this. So that's how you know how far Rich Paul's out of pocket. Because normally LeBron would have ignored this. He would have never answered his question, but he completely distanced himself from this.
Mhm. Mhm.
In addition, Austin Reeves' agent, who's surprisingly black, his name is Reggie, rolls up a Rich Paul and has to have a 5-minute conversation with him. and now, things are all right. But that's just, that's funny in itself that Austin Reeves has an agent named Reggie. That's just hilarious.
Right,
But the
right,
fact
right,
that
right.
Reggie rolls up on Rich and is like, pretty much keep my player's name out of your mouth. So,
Why you pointing to him and then pushed his head?
exactly.
I know.
So what do y'all think about this, man?
What you got, J Money?
Rich Paul is way out of pocket. I think he's letting the celebrity status kind of get to his head. Like he's done a phenomenal job. Let's just bring it back a little bit. He's done a phenomenal job as an agent for his clients, for his players. He's got some crazy contracts done for his clients, which is absolutely amazing. I mean, LeBron's work. I think he's got Paolo Banchero, I think, under his brand. I think it is. But he Stephen A. Smith, stay off the weed, brother, because that was an insane take. You would have traded Austin Reeves. That's the true cotton candy trade right there. That is crazy work for Jaren Jackson Jr. You want to do that and send it to Memphis? It's crazy. But yeah, Rich Paul's for sure out of pocket.
I feel you on that one. I think it's just interesting. Like I love Rich. He's in Ohio. When he's Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Akron, Ohio. Be more. There's a connection there. And then to go back even further, I once had a class with him at Akron University. Right.
Oh wow.
I once played a pickup game where Rich Paul was in it. So I said to
He
say
claims he can ball. He claims
yeah,
he can ball.
He can do. He can do. He can shoot. He can dribble. But I don't say like I know him. I just feel in this moment that to Jay Money's point, he did overstep, and I don't know if it's just because of his affiliation. And I know you said he does. He's done a good job, and I'm not saying that he has not. But I think sometime in his life, I've learned that it's not what you know, but who you know. And I like his degree. He didn't necessarily go to school to be a sports agent, right? But through affiliation, somewhere along the way, that became the right path, and I don't knock it, right? But I just said it to say sometimes we do overstep. And I think while he can be LeBron's advocate, I respect that, but you still have to be choiceful about what you say about other players. And I think for him to kind of step over that line, it should have to be addressed. He should get that spank on the hand, and then moving forward, he'll probably guard his words a bit better. But I'm not surprised LeBron, he's always going to be diplomatic. And I respect distancing yourself from that because though Rich Paul has a massive platform that he per se gave him, I still feel like I respect LeBron from distancing himself from it because, again, if that's not your view and you didn't say that, Rich Paul isn't authorized to say that either.
I just wondered, like when he got the idea to do the podcast, and I think he can be a good host, and I think he has a lot to share, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people are going to ask you sports questions. They're
Right.
going to put you in situations like this, and I'm not sure how does he remain interesting and still navigate this line, this this
Yeah.
minefield because it's basketball season. They're going to talk about the Lakers,
Mm-hmm.
and especially now when the Lakers are struggling, they're going to talk about because that's everyone's favorite thing. Okay, what moves
Mm-hmm.
can they make?
Yeah.
How do you navigate that? Because no, it's any talk about the Lakers, it's going to come off as you're LeBron's mouthpiece.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And so, how do you navigate that and still be interesting?
I don't think he can navigate that. I think in those moments, maybe you let Max lead the segment, or you kind of tiptoe around it. But I think you teeter on something really important. Be more. I don't think he's intriguing. I don't really want to hear from Rich Paul. Like Max Kellerman is good. I love his takes on boxing, basketball, etc. He's witty, and I can connect with him. Rich Paul is kind of boring, and I think he's uh it's almost like mundane to hear him speak because you're going to be so tactful about what you say. You didn't really tell me anything, and that's why I don't like the combination. I like him as a person. Again, he's an Ohioan, but I'm not intrigued by him. So to your point, it may not work in the long run. We'll see though, but I'm not intrigued by him.
I don't think he should be on any podcast, to be honest with you. I think he should start talking if he retired. Like, I feel like that makes more sense. Like,
Mhm.
you are still actively connected to these players
Yeah.
that you are talking about. And I think from I like what you said, Kev. Like he still has to be diplomatic because he has active clients, like
Hmm.
Tyrese Maxey, Fred VanVleet. Like if you're gonna talk about this guy, you gotta be super careful.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis, like that's another one of his clients. Like you can't. I don't think he should be on this podcast. I agree. I don't think he's interesting. I think he probably has a lot of insight on like how the world
Hmm.
operates, and I think he should speak on that of like I understand the hypothetical part, but just say, oh, for example, let's say we trade Fred Van Vliet for CJ McCollum. What that would look like behind the scenes is probably A, B, C, D, and E. Like that part makes sense.
Hmm.
But you being like, I would trade Jaren Jackson Jr. for Austin Reeves, please go sit down somewhere and stop smoking that crack. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. Hmm.
Absolutely. But listen, but I am glad Austin Reeves agent checked him. Like
Oh yeah.
that shows you that because I mean that this is important. You can't he's going into negotiations. You can't have anybody possibly mess up the money. And
Mhm.
and that's what it
Yeah.
comes down to. You can't have anybody, especially on some dumb stuff, mess up the money. So
Yeah.
all right. So moving on. Our boy Ja. Yo, get him out of Memphis. Just get him out of Memphis. Like, I mean, I think we've come to a point where it's over.
Mhm.
This man is not playing. He's almost fought his teammate, Vince Williams, arguing, acting crazy. Like, just it's over. This Memphis run is over. They peaked. we thought we were going to get more, but it's over. Like the team is actually again playing better without him.
Mhm.
So it's make the deal. And right now, it's looking like it's going to be very Trae Young esque because people are lowballing the hell out of Memphis right now.
And keep in mind, Scottie Pippen Jr. is ready February 2nd. They pushed his time back a little bit, but he was supposed to be ready. They said next 4 to 6 weeks he should be ready to play. I think it wouldn't surprise me if when the time he's ready, we see Ja go. But the trade deadline is it like late February?
Yep.
No, they've actually moved it up. It's before the All Star break now.
Oh, okay, okay.
Really?
Yeah, let me see.
So I think that's gonna make a difference too. But to your point, B more, I think like John Morant, man, is such a phenom, right? He's uber athletic. He can do this, he can do that, but he's really immature, and he hasn't separated himself and grown up in that regard. You make a jump shot, everything got to be a gun. Everything got to be a gun. Like,
Right.
come on, Ja. It's in bad taste if you've had to been disciplined because of guns. You can't just still keep. You can't even do the gesture. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something else, and I just think that's just crazy immature. And then again, again we spoke about. I love the how him and his dad kind of chronicle his journey. Teaching him the game, and I love that stuff. But then there's the other parts of John Moran. It's like, you miss a lot of time. You're crazy athletic, but the minute you jump, I'm holding my breath. And I think in the end of it, I just don't think he's worth it. I think, you do pull the plug, you get back the max you can get, but I move on. And like you said, B more, I think the time there is ended, and he needs a new change of scenery.
Yeah, I agree. I think John needs to get out. We've all said this on the podcast. Like, he needs a new change of scenery. He's got to get out of Memphis.
Yeah.
Be more to your point, Uncle T. I mean, Memphis is winning, but they just lost tonight, and they had 4 of their players get punched on by Anthony Black. So that was
nasty.
That was insane word. But on the other side of that too, you can see the chemistry is getting better too. It's getting a lot better. The team looks healthy without John Morant. Unfortunately, in this situation, John Morant has made himself a toxic player. He's made himself a very high risk, high reward kind of a player. And because of the caliber that I think he is an all-star player as well too, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So it's disappointing to say because he's trying to fall under a category that doesn't suit him, like for his background.
Right.
And he's Papa Doc of 8 Mile. His real name is Clarence. Like, dude, like why? So like, why trying to be something you're not? But yeah, I don't think Atlanta is a good place for him to go. I think maybe Sacramento, a place that's like very small market, kind of focused.
Sacramento loves guards.
Yeah, so
Don't they?
I think he needs a coach that's going to be really tough on him, like an Ime or Joe Mazzulla, or maybe a Steve Kerr or something like that, or somebody that's going to be a tough coach to hold him accountable.
I'd like to know. Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so right now the rumors that the only real takers that's really showing an interest is Miami, and so that comes as a mixed bag. I mean, I think that John Miami could be interesting. Mm-hmm. It'll be his most structured environment. There's that whole Heat culture thing. And I know there's multiple opinions on what Heat culture really is and if that's really effective in today's game.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't mind in Miami. I don't think that puts them into like a championship window. But I think if anybody can kind of resurrect his career and get it back on, it's Spo and Riley. But they're not going to give up a lot at all.
I'd love to know what the back and forth was with Vince Williams. Body language tells me Ja wanted no parts of taking it off that court. A guy that just if they're uncertain about if they can win the fight, they're gonna stay around where people can break it up. And Vince wanted to take it to that locker room, and I thought Ja wanted no parts of that. Like, why? Why? Well, you know why. Just in case your back got to touch every ball in here. I don't want nobody to stop it. Because it's like what were they arguing about? What could they have been about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's funny. You go back to it. Ja is always the guy that's almost about to fight every time.
Right.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Every time on the court, someone else may break it up, or you so tough, but go shoot that fair one. But I don't know. I just think I just think Ja is just it's to your point. It's getting toxic. It's getting bad, and I think a change of scenery before it really damages the brand, and and then you really lose money because it's like funny. He had a shoe come out that kind of came and gone, and it's
So
like
no, so that actually the shoe was doing well. I think that's why Nike's probably pissed at him because he's not on the court.
Yeah.
And like when we my daughter when she's out I'm looking at youth sports, the kids
mhm.
are wearing the
You
shoes.
seen? I haven't been seeing him.
The
I've
They're
seen
most
him
wearing
on
recent
these
one is
like
TV every
popular.
now and again. I haven't seen
like
him.
the kids are wearing his shoes. Like honestly,
Mhm.
it's when it comes to like youth sports, it's funny because it's like his shoes and LaMelo's. Like those are ones that in
Yeah,
youth
I
sports
see
that they're
him.
wearing a lot. So Nike's gotta be pissed because like
That's
this is
money.
right now. I mean, outside of
Mhm.
Jordan Brand and the regular ones, like he is moving units and he can't
Wow.
stop doing dumb stuff. He can't. He's not on a team that's winning. He's doing everything he can to wreck his brand. So
Like,
he so n- listen, I would not be surprised because Nike is very powerful. If Nike is also trying to maneuver a way to get him
mhm.
away because of
Yeah.
look guys, you are costing us money
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
I have a,
They
I have a, I have a kind of a curious question. You guys know I like to go against the grain a little bit. What if let's say Memphis decides to not trade Ja?
Mhm.
They need to make trades though to start winning again. My first player that I would trade away, Jaren Jackson Jr. He'd be my first to put on the chopping block. I'm not gonna hold you,
Mhm. Mhm.
but he putting up 18 and 2 blocks and shooting 30% from the field and
Mhm.
maybe some rebounds. I'd do it.
Yeah.
So if they, so I'll say this: if they trade Jaren Jackson, that's going to signal rebuild,
Mhm.
and if they do that, people are going to lowball them even more for Ja.
Yeah.
If their idea is to rebuild, they got to get rid of Ja first. Because if they don't, like Jaren Jackson is a good commodity right now. Like he
Mhm.
might be having his best season, but he's more valuable than Ja. But if they get rid of Jaren Jackson before Ja, they may get like a second round pick in 2035 for Ja. like that's how bad it's going to get for them.
Yeah,
Like
that's a good point. That's a good point. 'Cause you to your point, you want to keep the leverage, and like the clock is running. You know what I mean in terms of getting Ja out of town. But it's tough when the relationship is sour, and he needs to be gone. But teams are going to scale back too. But him, Lamelo, they need to change the scenery.
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Lamelo for sure. TJ and I had a whole debate about Lamelo the other day. It got pretty
Look,
heated. I'm
man,
not gonna
look,
lie.
my Hornets are only like 3 games outside of the 10th spot for the play-in. All right. So hey,
on,
listen,
on, on on Jeff Teague's podcast, they said Lamelo looked like he hooped with iPods in his ear.
he does.
To be honest,
You know, Carmelo Anthony said something, and I think he kind of nailed it. He says LaMelo shows you what being free looks like
Mhm.
because and he says he shows you what being free looks like and when you love the game. LaMelo loves basketball. Like this is like basketball is his happy spot. And he just plays like he's still outside. He doesn't and look that's good and bad because he's professional and he should be able to play in the system and I get that. But when I heard Carmelo say this and I sat back and I looked at it from that context, I'm like, you know what? It's kind of a beautiful thing because you don't see just that freedom, that joy in the game like that. So Leia,
Mm-mm.
it's not winning basketball, and he's not going to win anything. But you
Nah,
know what? Sometimes basketball just got to be fun.
be
Can you
more.
say that again? I'm
Right?
sorry. I'm sorry, Kev.
go,
Go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Kev. I'm
David.
sorry. I'm sorry. I just need you, Uncle T. I just need you to say that again. So when I show this recording to TJ and he listens to our podcast, I just need you to say those specific lines again because I told him this the other day. I literally told him it was a 2-hour conversation. LaMelo is not playing what?
Winning basketball.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's not. He has he
It's
turns the
not.
ball over, but he's fun. He's fun.
Winning
No,
is
you,
fun.
you know why be more why I vehemently disagree with that, man. It's like it's immature. You know, when you're paying free and all that, it's like that's cool until it's in the waning moments and you did a no look pass when the 2-hand chest pass was the better pass. The bounce pass was the better pass. And as great as Steph Curry is, at times he falls victim to that too and have some pivotal turnovers. I totally disagree with Melo with that. Is playing free when you're in a league. I know he has a love and passion for the game. He wouldn't have made it, right? He has to have a passion for it. But it gets to a certain point where you got to lock in and you got to be mature and you got to go to work. One of the best clips I saw one time was it was in a Laker huddle and Kobe Bryant was just struggling and Phil looked at him and said, "We need you to activate." And when I hear that, that's such a powerful thing. I need you to lock in and to your point, play winning basketball and be elite. You can't be free and all that, and the Hornets are a losing organization. Like that, it's not the time for you to be free and y'all 10th in the East. I don't need him to be free. It sounds like Andre 3000 flute album. I don't want to hear that, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear that. I need you to lock in. I need you to get us up these the rankings because the time is now, right? The
Right.
time is now. You got a Boston team that's injured. Detroit, you know, is good, but come on, this is the time to do it. But I ain't trying to hear that with Melo. Free, he's free, man. If you don't lock in,
Oh man,
Clip that. Clip
that
that.
dude.
let that. Yeah, I will.
Melo was
Let
Melo drinking wine when he said that.
he actually was actually. He
Wow,
actually was.
that
Yo.
wasn't Hoodie Melo saying that. I know Hoodie
Oh
Melo
yo.
wouldn't felt like that.
Okay. All right. We go. I got a
All
question.
right. I'm
I got a
sorry. I'm
question.
sorry.
What's more of a fraud? Hoodie Mello or summer workout Ben Simmons?
Summer workout Ben Simmons. There's no debate.
Ben,
There,
Ben,
yes. You see that
that's
nigga's rotation when
funny.
he shoot the ball? It's so like this all the time.
Bro,
Man, what
we've
happened to
had
Ben?
like 5 straight summers of Ben Simmons workout. Like, oh, he's gonna do it this year. Nothing. And look,
No.
the Hoodie Mellow summers were classic because
Classic.
Hoodie Mellow, we're like, yo, he about to lock in and have MVP. And look, after those summers, he had decent years, but it
Mhm.
wasn't a Hoodie Mellow season. It was
No,
not what we
no.
expected.
Man, Mellow game just beautiful though, boy. Ooh,
It
Mellow
really is.
game.
It really is, man. Shout out to Mellow.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Jonathan Kuminga growing up right before our eyes. He was like, "Yo, get me out of here! Like, y'all don't want me. I don't want to be here. I hit the deadline for my re-sign, so so you guys can trade me now. So get me out of here."
Yeah.
This relationship is so weird to me. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand anything about this. And maybe in 10 years, Steve Kerr will sit down and do an in-depth interview and kind of tell us what the hell went wrong with this. Because Kuminga's a talent. And listen, he's not. We don't know how good he could be because he doesn't get consistent minutes. It's like he'll play well, he'll make a mistake, and then Steve Kerr will bench him for four games. Like, okay, like you can't. A player can't gain confidence like that. Like he's got to be able to play free. Maybe not LaMelo free, but free enough where he can make mistakes and still play. So I don't know what's happening in Golden State, but Kuminga is not going to be there for much longer. What are you guys seeing with this whole Kuminga Golden State thing?
May I, gentlemen? May I go first real quick?
Yes, sir.
I think they were already preparing to trade him. They were just appeasing his desires.
Mm.
But I feel that they should trade Kuminga, hear me out, for CJ McCollum and trade Pods to get him because they need another guard that can move the ball
Mm-hmm.
and put up points when Curry's not on the floor. JK's not playing. Pods is so inconsistent. He's good one game where he can drop 18 to 25 and it's a beautiful night. but on the next night, he's shooting 15% from three, 2 turnovers, 2 assists, and 8 points. So I think they should do that. But this whole situation with Jonathan Kuminga, I think they were trying to play the long game with him, and he just didn't want to wait too long. He's 23, 24, I think. He's a super talented guy, so it makes sense. I'm glad he asked for the trade, but I think he wasn't ready to play the long game because he's really good. He's really talented, but he needs to expand his skill set and kind of figure out what his internal strengths are.
Hey, Jay Money, there's a fantasy owner in our basketball league. I call him Budget Gourmet. Because when it comes to trades, he's only gonna get like lowball you or trade the depth. So when you position that trade, I was like, yeah, Jay Money might be good in basketball. That's a reasonable trade because essentially it's not asking a lot, but I think it fits their need because CJ can be catch and shoot. Pod, to your point, he's a rhythm guy. He needs all this going on with his left hand, but he's so inconsistent too. But yet a catch and shoot guy takes you echoes to the days of Klay Thompson. Yes, CJ is maybe on the back end of his career, but for right now, I like that trade. It shakes it up. But Kuminga, we don't really know how special he is on that team. Unfortunately, it's just he's always either been overshadowed or the presence of Draymond, and it's just time to move on. But I think I would love to see him in Houston. I'd love to see him in Minnesota. I'd love to see him in places that they're good teams, but this last little piece might really make him formidable. So I like to see him there. I even like to see him with the Spurs. I just like to see him somewhere where it's like a team he can get them over the hump to make him ultra competitive because he can viably play 1 through 4. You know what I mean? Because Kuminga's a good player.
So wait, you want to trade Kuminga for another guard? These guys don't have size. You want to get another guard? No,
Listen.
Bring in somebody who's over 6'8". How about let's start there? Let's start with somebody who's over 6'8", who's under 40. Listen, I don't think that's much to ask. I think that's kind of what they need.
Yeah.
Over 6'8", under 40. Listen, bring in Andre Drummond. I don't care. Trade him to Philly. Bring in Andre Drummond. I don't care.
Okay.
I am tired of this team not having a big man. Okay? Look, Draymond is small and old now. So all these things he could make up for with his youth and athleticism is gone. It's just savvy now. And savvy can't jump. Okay? So get Steph some size, pause, down low, double pause.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah, that was an ayo. I felt it as it was coming out of my mouth. That was an ayo.
Okay, hey, relax.
That sounds like Mano. Whoa!
Mano was king of that. But yeah, man, this team, just get somebody. Just get a tall center, please.
I'll pay.
Get a tall center.
Bring Andrew Bogut. Bring Andrew Bogut back.
Yes, I don't care. Dig Bogut carcass up. Put him there.
Steven Adams.
Just something, man.
Right. He's getting traded. I'm with you on that, though. I'm with you on that. That makes sense, B. Moore. I mean, that's been like a reoccurring thing, them having a big, and you hit on that weeks back about the importance of you can't miss with a draft pick, and they missed on Wiseman. You thought Wiseman was going to be it, and he just didn't develop, and now you've been needing a big ever since. So I'm with you on that, my brother. I'm with you.
All right, so our boy Jay Money got to go see the Bucks get smashed by the Timberwolves. Not only did they get smashed, they got smashed by a team without Ant, without Nas. It got so bad, the fans booed. And then it got even worse when Giannis got an and one, and he booed the fans back. So tell us, Jay Buddy, when you were there, what did you see in this slaughter?
Bro, it was crazy. So, okay, Nas Reed did play. Nas Reed played.
Oh, Nas played, okay.
Yeah, Nas played. Rudy Gobert wasn't playing. He was out.
That makes it even worse.
Yes, absolutely. It doesn't make it any better. They literally, when the game started, the Timberwolves came out hot. Like they literally couldn't miss. They were shooting 70% from the field from the first on the entire first quarter, bro. And they were shooting 50% from three. Like they and the Bucks played good contested ball. Like I mean, they whenever they shoot, but like they were out. They played. The Wolves played physical. The Bucks were like super confused on what they were doing. They switched up their defensive scheme. They went from man defense to a 2-2-2 to, and then they went to a rotational zone defense, and like nothing was working from it.
They were
Like
trying everything. Damn.
they were trying everything, and it wasn't working. The only player on the Bucks that was the only two players that were trying really hard during the game was Giannis and Kevin Porter Jr. Kevin Porter Jr. was literally trying to get his team pumped. He was talking crazy. He was like, give me that. Like he was doing all of that, and it wasn't working. I promise you, if you were at the game, you see the Wolves make all their shots, and you don't think anything of it because the Bucks started making their own buckets too. And then you look up at the score, and you see it's 60-25, and you're like, what just happened? What? I think that's the quickest game I have ever attended in my life. Like the game started at 7:30. We were out of there by 9:21.
No timeouts.
Yeah, no timeouts. And then like I was ready to leave by 8:30. And we were sitting courtside. So like I was super confused. Like Doc wasn't communicating with his players. Chris Finch was calling plays. Like
That's all Doc do. That's all Doc do.
Yeah. He was talking to Ryan Rollins on the court. Stop reaching. Ryan Rollins is like playing defense right now. Shut up, please. Like it was so crazy. The team, Minnesota, was just locked in from jump. Like I have never seen anything like that in person. Like I thought Minnesota was playing on rookie the entire time, and the Bucks were playing on Hall of Fame. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That sound bad, but but I respect you. Say Greek was playing hard, and though he wants to be traded, and though he's not come out and just said it. We're implying it. We're this and that. Just be transparent, Greek. But I'm glad to hear that he's because sometimes we see players. What do? They do all these other things to get out of town. And if he's playing hard, I respect it, man. But they're a bad team. At this moment in time, they're a bad team, and it's time to blow it up. And I've just imagined though, where could Greek go? Man, he would change the landscape of a lot.
It could, but he's one of those players where you trade him and your team. I'm not sure what you're gonna have left of your team, and I think that's kind of what makes it tough. Like if he came as a free, so he's extension eligible over the summer, and then if he doesn't sign the extension over the summer, then he will be a free agent next summer. I think that's how it's going. If I remember correctly, but it's one of these things where Milwaukee is so bad right now, and I saw I forgot one of the other ESPN. He did a breakdown of their salary. Their salary is tied up in three players: Giannis, Kyle Kuzma, and Miles Turner. And they don't have a draft pick until 2031.
What?
Because of the Dame trade and everything. So it's like they don't have a lot to give right now. So it's like that franchise. Like when they went for Dame, they really went for it.
Wow.
And they thought that was, and it's it's going to be ugly in Milwaukee for a while, and it's I don't know. Listen, I mean the good news is this: Giannis is putting up great numbers, so you might see some historic stuff while you win 30 games a year. So you might have some historic nights.
That's a nice way of saying enjoy it while you can, Milwaukee, for the next couple months.
Right.
All right, so we got to talk about this because we all love Lonzo Ball here. You know, we're all fans. But if you've seen him play recently, I think it might be over. I I think it might be like we wanted this to not be over. We've been in denial. We waited for the injuries for him to come back from injury. We since the high school days, we wanted Lonzo to be that guy, and I think it's over. I think injuries have caught up with him. I think the other night he played like 24 minutes. He had like 2 points, 2 assists. You know, I think it's done. And, it's sad to say, but yeah, I think it's a wrap, man.
Be more. He plays for my team, Cleveland Cavaliers, and I agree with you, man. I think uh, in the end, Lonzo, is that you're not going to be remembered as being a bum. You know what I mean? I think we'll put you in that category of a bunch of guys. What if he didn't get injured, he could have been
Mhm.
this. And I hate to put him in that, but that's what he's become. Because his body just can't hold up. And there's no fault of your own. It's not you. I'm sure he went through a vigorous rehab just to get back. And you're to the point where a team felt good about signing you. But again,
Mhm.
your body just not holding up. It's not his mind. It's not his instincts. It's just his body just can't take it. And I think it's and go back to it. Did the fall of his career go back? Is it linked back to those basketball shoes his dad was coming out with? Did
Big
that
baller
cause the
brand.
injury? You know what I'm saying? I hate to even put that energy out there, but I remember because at one moment in time he said the shoes was trash. Remember?
Yeah.
He said it
Yeah.
about him.
Normally.
He switched, I think, during a game. Was
Mhm.
that the link that
Yes.
kind of impact his career? The irony in it, but I think it's definitely time, and it's not that I even feel bad. I just think it's just time because his body just can't take the rigors of the game.
He kind of I'm hopeful. Y'all know me. I don't even think Klay Thompson's washed, but we'll have that conversation for another time. But I think the shoes, I think you brought up a good point, Kev. The shoes, the big baller brand shoes I think it messed up his career. But I don't think he's done. I mean, you got to keep in mind he's been out for 3 years, like hasn't played. This is his first year back,
Mm.
and he got a brand new knee. He's literally running on a donated knee right now, which is which is so crazy. But I think next year, I think they should give him another shot. One more chance next year. I think we might see a different Lonzo Ball. I think if you haven't played in like 2 to 3 years based off injury, your
Yeah.
condition isn't the same. Like you're out of shape. It's like me on Wednesday morning basketball. I still got chunk to me, but the conditioning is not there right now. But give me
Yeah.
another year, I'll be fine. And I think so will Lonzo. So I'm hopeful. I'm gonna give him one more year, and I think if next year doesn't work out, then he probably does need to hang it up.
I
Because he
think
kind of reminds me of
he got that knee from Timu. I'm sorry. Go ahead. My bad. My bad.
All
My
right.
bad.
So let me tell you Lonzo's numbers. Lonzo's numbers are he's getting 22 minutes a game, 5 points per game, 5.2. He's shooting 31% from the field. He's averaging about 4 boards and 4.5 assists
Yep.
at 22 minutes.
Yep.
Listen, he's never been a great shot, right? Like so, but 31%, he's not even taking a lot of shots even when he's in the game. He's taking like 5 shots a game. So
Hmm.
he's not getting the ball up. His turnover rate is the highest it's been since his rookie year at 1.7 turnovers a
Mm.
game. So it's okay to have faith, but he's done. He's done. He's done.
Washed.
Wash is
All right.
crazy.
It is. All right. So let's talk our last topic. The Western Conference. It is wild. The West is like we knew it was gonna be crazy,
Yeah.
but the fluctuations in the standings. Like when we last talked, like the Lakers were number 3. I mean, people were still kind of hesitant about it, but they were still the 3 seed. Now I think they dropped down to the 6 seed.
Hmm.
Houston has kind of hit a rough patch. The Spurs, they're only 6-4 in the last 10 games. OKC has righted the ship. They've kind of figured it out. Before we started, they're up on Houston. But Denver is still playing good ball even without Jokic. But it's been the West. The 2 through 10 could change every couple of days.
Yeah.
There is not a lot of distance between these teams, man. The West has been great basketball.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kev.
Oh, see, I think it's gonna come down to, like, to your point, I'll be more, it's just seeding and matchups, injuries, trades, all of that. That's the only way to kind of swing the pendulum. But you're right, man. It's so up and down. You don't really know. I just want to see the matchups. There's no way you wouldn't want to see a OKC Spurs playoff. You
Oh,
want to see that. You want to see that. That's gonna be box office. No way you wouldn't want to see even Houston, Minnesota. It seems like when Ant and KD get together, just his adoration for KD brings the best out of Ant, and they must run and send Houston home. Now, I would love to see Minnesota go to battle, but with John Morant as their point guard, hint, hint, wink, wink. You know what I mean? That'll really make that intriguing. But to your point, the West is wild, man, and I don't really know. There's some uncertainty. Outside of OKC and the Spurs matchup, everyone else I don't know, because that Clipper team is erratic. That Lakers team could potentially make a trade. It's just a lot going
hey,
on. But
we wrote that Clippers team off, but
I don't want to.
they've got it's funny to say, but they've got half their season wins in the last few weeks. So they like
Right.
8-2 in the last 10 games.
Right,
So
but it's
I don't
scary because
know.
they got talent, man. I still just kind of respect them, and we know Kawhi. If Kawhi eases away and he's healthy in a playoff series, that could be a nightmare because Kawhi is going to get his buckets and his production. So the West is intriguing, man. But I think the outliers and the things that we don't know is what's going to make it solidify.
So I think I'm actually really proud of everyone in the West. I'm just gonna say that right now. I feel like a little old man, proud of his little grandkids or his kids or whatever. I'm proud of everybody. I love you all equally. I want to shout out the Phoenix Suns. They are 24-17. Dylan Brooks, like all-star this year.
All-star.
He has a case. I don't think he's going to make it. He has a
strong
case. He has a case.
I have never seen this. We saw flashes in Houston, but Phoenix Suns, Dylan Brooks is a beast. So kudos to Phoenix Suns. I think the Thunder figured out the Spurs in their last game with Wembanyama because they caught that L. And Wembanyama got hurt again today with a knee injury because he collided knees with Giannis. But everyone in the West, like from 1 to 8, maybe. I think they're all doing good. This is going to be a super competitive conference. The playoffs are going to be a movie for sure. I don't even know who to root for, to be honest with you. And I love the Spurs and the Rockets and the Warriors. So y'all know those are my teams.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is great basketball this year, man.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Dude, so when we started, the Thunder was only up by 1 on the Rockets. They won 111-91.
Jesus.
Wow.
Like, what is that?
Wow.
like what? Like, they took the Rockets' best punch and was like, all right, I'm ready to play for real now.
Right.
What do you like this week? I think I watched the Thunder their last 3 games, and what I'm seeing Shea just do, like I'm trying not to be prisoner of moment and compare them to all-time greats and stuff like that. So I don't want to do that, but the way he's getting to his spot whenever he wants to and getting the exact shot he wants to almost every single time is just something you don't see all the time.
Yeah.
He did a snatch on Oskogie the night, and he went under the frame. He went flying out of the frame, and again, we come from the era of like Iverson and Marbury where the crossover is so quick, so you expect it. It's just so like medium speed and you just see people just flying out of the frame out, and I'm just like, I don't even understand how this works, but it does. So yeah, just watching Shea do work this past week, man, it's and I guess Chet now, I guess Chet nuts finally dropped, so he's playing like Chet's like okay, like he like I'm tired of Wemby getting y'all tell Wemby is not my daddy. I'm
Right.
tired
I
of
ain't
y'all
afraid
telling
of
me
that dude. Right.
so yeah, man. So it's OKC looks like they are scary, but
It's out.
it's them. Phoenix, I agree. Phoenix is playing good ball. The Timberwolves. Remember early in the season we talked about them. We were worried. We were like, okay, what is up with them?
Right.
They have figured it out. They're the 4th seed right now. So yeah. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the West is playing great basketball. I mean, even Sacramento is going to put up a good game every now and then, right? Like I was saying, like Portland, like they will come out and beat a good team out of the blue. I mean, they're still like a 7 seed right now, but
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Denny. Denny's my guy, but yeah, they had a rough start. They had the whole Chauncey Billups thing, and now they're a competitive basketball team. So yeah,
Right.
I mean, the West is just top to bottom. I mean, outside of New Orleans, New Orleans is. I don't understand why New Orleans is so bad, to be honest with you, because when I see them play, they don't seem that terrible. But I don't watch them enough to really see why they're that terrible. But they're they're bad.
It's the Jordan Poole effect.
He only plays with his baddies in the stands, and there's no
Exactly.
baddies in New Orleans going to the games.
That's funny.
All right. So with that said, we're gonna wrap this up. Final thoughts, Jay Money. Why don't you kick us off?
I'm shooting for SGA to be a back-to-back MVP this year. I'm super excited for the West. The East has got to figure it out what's going on over there. But I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm also the refs got to figure it out too. They got to start being more consistent with these calls because I watched the Celtics game the other day and Jaylen Brown hit everything right on the money with the refs. Make the calls consistent. Going to the line only 4 times in the game is insane. But they gave the Thunder a run for the money. They lost, but they kept it close with that. But outside of that, SGA for back-to-back MVP. The West is probably the most entertaining conference this year. I'm all for it. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in the playoffs.
Word. All right, Kev, you up?
Yes, sir, man. It's funny, my brother. Things heat up so fast. Rather Eastern Conference, Western Conference, NFL, where we playoffs is going on. It's just so much going on in the landscape. But I'm eager to see, once things settle, what teams emerge. Playoff basketball always highlights, can a player defend his position? Who's going to rise to the occasion? I know we got a little time, but it's interesting. I think we say the same thing every week, that is interesting, that we just don't know. And I think just that we still don't know. But as things kind of narrow down, I do think the creme de la creme will rise. And like you said, with the Thunder, one thing that's gonna be certain is Shea is gonna get his 20. So I still feel good putting him in my parlay. You know what I mean? But all in all, I think it's gonna be ultra competitive, and I think in the end it's gonna be some non-teams that we did not choose to be on top be on top. We'll see.
Word. All right, my final thoughts. I'm gonna do something a little bit different. If y'all see the background, y'all know I like Nas, so I'm always gonna be a music fan. So I'm gonna dedicate this final thoughts, this 45 seconds to Outkast. The first album Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music. One of the greatest albums to ever be made. And if you were raised in the South in the mid 90s, they were the first artists that really kind of spoke to you. Yes, there was Scarface, yeah, there was UGK, but Outkast, they were different. And out of their whole catalog, I think this is the album that gets slept on the most. People don't talk about it as much as they should. You talk about ATLiens, you talk about Aquemini for sure. You definitely talk about Stank On You. But Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, that's the beginning. That's the genesis. That's where you got Andre on the stage of the Source saying the South got something to say. And that changed the world, it changed the culture, and it changed rap music as we know it. So I just want to use my thoughts to give a shout out to Southern playlist of Cadillac music. Everyone needs to go listen to that again. I think we don't talk about it enough.
I see. Pimpy. That's pimpy right there. I'm with you.
No doubt. All right, so that said, we're going to sign out the 3-man weave on B More. That's J Money. That's Kev from Ohio. Thanks for listening again. Brought to you by Edge Beverage. Like, subscribe, share. Please stop hating. We'll see you next time. Peace.